Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to a special stream for The King is Dead. We're gonna play a sort of RPG card game tonight and learn to play the game with you all. I have the box here, got that at PAX Unplugged. But before we go into the game, let's just talk about our sponsors real quick. I want to thank Magen Press for making such awesome games as Dark Matter that we play here every Tuesdays. If you go at their store.magenpress.com, you can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything you purchase, including the new bundle for the Dark Matter hardcover and PDF. That was on sale at PAX Unplugged. If you got it or if you played in some of the games there, it was a very, very good time. The other sponsor that we have is Found Familiar, the coffee company, whom I cannot wait to get their stuff from. I've tasted it before. It is amazing. I drink coffee every stream, often like 24 ounces per stream. So I'm a big coffee drinker, and I can't wait to get whether. Yeah, love your reaction, Pope. I can't wait to get more of their stuff, and because it tastes amazing. And finally, last sponsor is Dice Envy. You can go at their store if you use the link down below. You can get their wonderful dice. There's no code. You just click on the link and you go on the website and you buy what you see. And that is it for me. I will put some background music because this feels very silent. So let's just go ahead and go around the table, introduce all of ourselves, who we are, and if we've ever... Well, I don't think we've ever played The King is Dead, but if you've ever played it, let everybody know. Otherwise, yeah, tell us who you are and where we can find you on the internet, and we'll start with the person to my right, and then we'll go clockwise in the overlay, so we'll start with Alyssa.
Hi, everyone. You know me as Alyssa, or Alexander Slamilton, maybe, if you follow me on the Twitters. I'm really excited to play this game. This is going to be so much fun.
Up next is Deirdre.
Sorry, y'all. Hey, y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, or Praxagorth as my forays. You see me hang out on the Twitch chat. And I can't wait to play this game. I haven't actually played King is Dead yet, but Firebrands is one of my favorite games. And yes, please. All of this drama and so much more.
All right, and a new face here on Wandering DM. Someone that I've been wanting to play with for a while and managed to get the chance for some secret thing for like 10 minutes, but tonight's going to be a longer game that we're going to play together. Pope, welcome to the channel.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bill on the Twitter and on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and I'm so happy to be here. Oh, good heavens. I've been a fan of this channel for a while, a bit of a fan of Simon and all these wonderful people here. And yes, there are secrets. You will see them later. But so glad to be here this evening for The King is Dead. This looks like totally my disaster train wreck of a jam. So I am all here, and I'm all in.
All right. Just before we dive in, do we have a Go Life tweet? Yes, we do. Thank you, Deirdre, because I completely forgot to make one. So, thank you so much. So before we delve into the game, we'll do a little, like, YouTuber, I'll make a YouTuber out of myself, and we'll open the box. It's like an unboxing, but I want to tell everyone, like, what's inside this game. And by the way, for tonight, we are doing something special. Meg Baker, the designer of one of the designers, I should say, of The King is Dead, has a GoFundMe right now for a... Well, Deirdre, can you talk about it for us, please? You know more about it than me.
Hey, y'all. Sorry. Meg Baker and Vincent Baker are the designers of The King is Dead. It is a great game. All of the stuff that they design is great. Firebrands, Mech Zero, and oh yeah, that thing called Apocalypse World. It's a small thing. But one of their friends and fellow designers, their daughter was in the hospital over the holiday, Thanksgiving, with blood sepsis. So they're running. Meg is supporting a GoFundMe. Luckily, their daughter is home and she's learning to walk, but she was at Children's in Boston for I think like 3 weeks. So she's pushing this GoFundMe and trying to help them with the medical bills that are coming from that. I saw her at PAX. She is a wonderful person, by the way. Everyone should support Meg and Vincent because they do good works. But she really wanted a lot of people to support this because, as she said, they could get a game funded in less than a day, but they can't get this funded. So I'm being their shill for tonight. She doesn't know it, but that's okay. I'm going to be her shill for tonight.
And so 2 things. 1, every donation tonight that we get, whether it be for bits, whether it be because of a subscription or a straight donation, all of that I'm giving it away to Meg Baker's GoFundMe. So there is that. And the second thing is, if you're still not sure who exactly Deirdre was talking about, if you've ever played a Powered by the Apocalypse game in your life, it's thanks to them. So Apocalypse World is the harbinger of the whole Powered by the Apocalypse system. So give generously. Everything that you do tonight is going straight to Meg Baker. Well, not to Meg Baker, but to Freya Petker. So, let's unbox this game. The King is Dead is the mix between, I think, a card game and an RPG would probably be the most accurate statement. So opening the game, you have a deck of standard playing cards, which you'll need to play. We're playing with virtual cards tonight, so we won't bother about that physical deck. You have a deck full of maps, which we will sort of use. We don't have like a physical representation of the map here, but we'll note down the locations that we have. And what I'll do is I'll draw them randomly for all of us, and that'll make the world map for tonight. We have tiny cardstock things that you can write your name on with a dry erase marker. You have NPCs. So there's like a whole slew of NPCs that belong to your family, to your house, that you can integrate in the various scenes that you play through. Sometimes they can have a more active role than other times. What is this? Why are cards messed up? Okay. Good. And the last one are the intrigue cards, which basically will serve to kick off the whole event. When you're unsure of what to do in the game, you can always draw an intrigue card and have that play as like a background event that happened prior to the scene, or is happening while the scene is ongoing. But normally the prompts in the booklets, which you have plenty of, I have 4 in my hands and a 5th one on my desk. So you can play the game with 5 people. It's normally best to be played with 3 to 5. I have found that it is possible to play it with 2 people, but it is kind of weird because by the end, like before the end of the game, you'll both know who's going to be crowned king or queen. And while it can make for a very interesting evening of roleplay, you could almost do the same thing with like another 2-player game made for that. So without further ado, we've already drawn our cards. Normally each player gets 3 cards. And I'll read the background information for the game. So the King of Bantiv, Avard III, High Prince of House Dillstone, and Sovereign of the Seaward Coast, has died without hair. He was probably also bald. Thank you. Civil war is certain. You are a young warrior prince or warrior princess of one of the royal houses of Bantiv. You were caught up in this looming war of succession. To see your house exalted, you'll have to fight and scheme, allying with your rivals and betraying your friends, falling in love with your enemies, daring danger, adventure, romance, and war. You were born for this. So we took our deck of cards. We each have a copy of this booklet. We have a hand of 3 cards each. They represent our house's muster, our bold blood claim to the throne, our wealth, our serfs, and our vassal nobility, also our ready warriors. Before we introduce the characters, let's talk about the houses and see which house each person wants to belong to. We can have 2 players or 3 players belonging to the same house, though since there are 5 houses and we're 4, we could also go for like 1 of each. We have House Antir, the Ancient Crown, House Dillstone, the incumbent royal house, House Lunest, a foreign power, House Oak, loyal retainers, and House Sendoreal, the usurpers. With only these prompts, which one, dear players, interests you the most?
I'll be brave and go, I would like to be House Antir, the Ancient Crown.
You are House Antir.
Well, if you know me, you know I'm a meddling fool. So, House Lunest it is.
House Lunest. Deirdre?
Well, if Pope's gonna lean into his brand, I should lean into mine, shouldn't I?
Be on brand.
I'm gonna have to go with House Sandoral
All right.
and be the usurpers.
House Sendoreal. And I've already played the game once before, and I was playing the leader of House Dillstone. I've been playing Dillstone before, so I will change, and I will go for House Oak. Which means that the king of Bantiv, who belonged to House Dillstone, well, their house is completely irrelevant to us tonight. Next step is who are we in game? What's our name? Our pronouns? What do we look like? And I will try to update the overlay to have our character's name on it as well. I can start. We also have attractive qualities. We give one. We assign one to ourselves. There are some on page 5 if you need an example, and someone else will assign one to ourselves. So let's go for myself. My name will be I know that my pronouns are going to be he, him. And I think I will call myself... Shit, I had a name for that character, and I will exit from that Roll20 because I'm alone in it anyway. Give me a second. It's the name of a character I've already used before. And it's not Vishard. Because I would not subject Vishard to whatever shenanigans we have tonight.
I mean...
Hey, Roll20 is down. Great. So I'll call myself Tristram.
Tristram or Tristan?
Tristram.
Cool.
Like this in the chat. And he goes by him. All right, who's next? Oh, my qualities. I forgot.
You
I
pick
will.
one, and then we each give you one.
It's each of you gives me one.
Yep.
Everyone in turns. Oh, great. So I'm gonna have a lot of qualities. I should write these down. The quality I assign myself will be... beautiful. I picked it randomly.
Of course you did.
No, I actually
Oh.
did.
And then we pick your next quality.
Yes.
I think your next quality is that you're brooding.
Okay.
Okay. I see where we're going here. Let's play into all the tropes.
Lean in, man. That's what we do here.
Yes. Let's see here. So he's beautiful, he's brooding, he's accomplished at arms.
All right.
Of
Seems
course.
legit. Would you say he studied the blade?
Yes.
I mean, he is a member of House Oak. Ooh.
Gotta be on brand.
All
He
right.
does.
So I'm tall, dark, and handsome, accomplished at arms. What else, Deirdre?
I'm gonna go steadfast.
I already like that character. It's a shame this character will turn into such a slut.
There's
What? And you play a slut? What?
I don't know. Why are these things gonna happen this way?
No shaming though.
Never.
Never.
So, all right. Who wants to go next?
I will.
All right.
Her pronouns are she, her,
Mm-hmm.
and her name is Lenore. Lennor.
Lennor.
Yep.
Cool.
And I'm going to say she is. Graceful.
I'm gonna make her musical.
Shit, that was my thing.
Sorry, Simon. It's like I just read your mind or something.
Or, you
I will
know,
contribute that she is bold.
I thought. Aren't we playing to brands tonight?
I will
Yeah, a
say
little bit.
widely traveled.
We're playing to brands tonight.
All right, I'll go next now that we've done this. I am going to be going a little off brand, just a little bit. I'm gonna play a dude tonight. So he him pronouns. His name is Fabian Mowbray. He is.
How'd you spell
I'm
that?
gonna Fabian Fabian,
Mhm.
and then Mowbray Mobray. Fabian Mowbray, and he might be from the most bloodthirsty house in existence, but he's really shy. Okay, maybe I am a little bit playing to brand where it's like this is the stereotype of the thing, and I'm gonna go the opposite direction.
Then I say you are also handsome.
Let's go with athletic.
And I think he might also be practical.
Is the music too loud, by the way?
No, not at all.
No.
Okay, that leaves me. All right, let's dig into my list of lords. We'll go with Andreas. Andreas the Nest.
Andreas
He, him
the what?
pronouns. of House Lunest.
Oh, okay. Of House Lunest.
Yes. He, him pronouns. And let's say resourceful.
I will go with educated.
Let's say that, like Lenore, he is also graceful.
And I think to round it out, the good gentleman of House Lunest is also gracious.
He's a very chill, good dude.
Give me a moment.
Is this where we already broke Simon? We haven't even gotten to the shenanigans.
No. This is I know I have something for this face. That's the I have everything for this. Which, by the way, while our wonderful host has stepped away, I will continue my shill and say that we are doing everything for charity tonight. So go help us raise money for charity, people. Come on, you can do this.
'Tis the season of giving.
And we all appreciate everything that these people write, so we're gonna get back.
Exactly.
And now I'm just shilling. Later in the evening, I'll become an Italian grandmother and guilt you into life.
Again, I can understand that this time of the year, a lot of us.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Things are tight, but at this is a worthy cause.
See,
And-
Pope is being all nice about it.
Again, this is a family who has greatly contributed to our community. As someone who almost at this point in time, since I've discovered, lives and breathes powered by the Apocalypse games. They have given so much to us, and when you just look go to that page, just look at the pictures of that young girl. Having been someone in the hospital, having had loved ones in the hospital, you know what it's like. And it's scary, it's terrifying for everyone involved. The pain sucks. And then having to go through learning to walk again, that sort of rehab is just debilitating. And helping them out with just a little bit towards these bills is a mountain of help. So if you can, please contribute.
Hope that was gorgeous. Also, I in my professional life am a fundraiser for public radio, and we are in the middle of our busiest season of asking people for contributions. So my brain is full of these kinds of cases for support, and somebody's child going through something as traumatic as sepsis is an extremely worthy cause. As somebody that spends hours and hours a day telling people why they should support public radio, I think it's a good time to think about maybe also donating to a family that obviously, like Pope said, is a huge part of the community. So open your wallet just a little bit. Every little bit will help.
Definitely.
Even if it's just a couple of bits here, every single cent counts. Trust me.
Also, Pope, if you ever want to come to DC and do pitches for public radio, I am your hookup. NPR would appreciate it.
I want everyone to know that the reason I lost it laughing is because Simon just walked in and I couldn't look at the camera. So that's me. But we love you, Simon.
I'm choosing not to acknowledge the girl from the ring on the camera that is Simon.
I really apologize for ruining this whole tender moment. I didn't think we would go into something serious as I was leaving.
No, it's fine. Admittedly, it's still better than that wig that Greg had.
Which one, though?
Oh, the
King
teenager from outer
Priest.
space?
The
No.
King Priest.
Oh.
No. This is same tier as King Priest. No, the worst wig was Lady Blackbird.
Vance.
That Vance.
Somebody needed to take a wig brush to that thing, and some shampoo and some conditioner, and spend like a couple hours on it. It'll be fine.
You know
Y'all.
what's quicker is a torch.
Anyway, tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah. Okay.
Coming
There we
at
go.
you.
We have tall, dark, and handsome.
So brooding.
Yeah, wait.
Wow.
Cover the one eye. You know you gotta.
Okay. Brooding, not emo.
One man's emo is another man's brooding.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
a fine line between brooding and emo.
It's usually just a screamo band or two.
So,
Well,
all right. We all have our adjectives, attractive qualities. We all have a house. Now we're gonna go into creating the world map. So what I'll do is I'll draw 3 locations from each. These locations should be, might come into play. It doesn't mean that they have to. And I will show everyone before I look at it myself. So this is House Entier, Sendo Real, Oak. This is House Lunest. So 1, 2, and 3. House Lunest, those are the 3 locations. I don't know if people can see them. And they go like this. Castle Siark. A palisaded palisaded headquarters in theater. Knife Bay. The ship's landing at Knife Bay, near Kerval in the Oak Heartland. Ooh, that's near my home. And the stronghold at Enstein, House Lunest's first foothold in Bantive. So we get old lands for House Lunest. House Entier. House Entier. There you go. We have the following. Farlani Castle, a border fortress hard on Ostamber. The Stones of Trural, under which the 3 blood goddesses sleep. And Lake March, the Crannog Fortress of Lake March, ancestral refuge of House Entier. House Sandorial. There's not a lot for House Sandorial. There's like 4 cards. Those are what you get. House Sandorial. Your first one is Holthen Keep, a powerful fortress off the seaward coast. You also get the Kalir Shrine, a magnificent temple to the gods and the honored dead. And Barest, a trade town sparking with resentment against the Dillstone rule. And as for myself, one, two, three. These are the ones I get. And they are Castle Ninetaver, seat of House Oak, now a welcoming country palace. Yay, I have a country home. Castle Cole, an ancient and crumbling fort on the seaward coast. Thank you so much, Prax, for the donation. This is going straight to Meg Barker's GoFundMe for Freya Petker, who got sepsis. So thank you so much. And the last one is the Troth, a high sea bluff hall where House Oak swears its fealties. We pretty much each got like a location that was ancient and or I don't know, sacred to our families. I have the cards here if you need them. If ever you have to, you forgot something. So I have all 12 of them next to me. Next to my angst. And, let's just do a little thing. We'll draw 2 NPCs from the deck. In case we need some. So, House and Tier. I will draw the first 2. This one and this one. House Antier, you get a Shining Princess of the Untamed Clans. And you also get the entirety of the Untamed Clans.
Got all my boys at the party! Except that I don't talk to any of them. I'm super shy.
Yes. That's House Oak. I'll keep it last. Alright. House Luneste. You get a siege company hammering together their engines of war. And you also get the Tempest, your dashing elite light cavalry. This game, by the way, takes about an hour when you play with 3 people, so I figure it's going to last about an hour and a half tonight. That's House Oak. Sendorial. Fuck it. Let's do that again. Alright. You get the following. You get a company of infantry. Swelling with new muster, eager to prove themselves. And you get a powerful princess of House Sendorial. And as a member of House Oak, I get the Grey Deer, a unit of scouts and rangers weary from long duty. And I get a unit of heavy horse, led by a bold and aspiring daughter of Oak.
You get what? I think I just... Alyssa EXE just stopped running for a second.
I get a unit of heavy horse, led by a bold and aspiring daughter of Oak.
All right. I'm excited to see where that goes.
All right. I think I'll stay on brand or something.
I mean,
I'm not... Alyssa, I'm not gonna wear the wig for Vamp. My Vamp has short hair.
A
So,
girl can dream.
I mean, if I die and I have to make myself a La Sombra, you can be assured that this is something I'm wearing. I'll be like,
I mean, fair. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, though.
if it comes to that, that means that her sire done killed you, and you died to a Toreador.
yeah. Which is why
No,
I
we're
should...
supposed to die.
Nope.
Not if you're a gangrel.
No, there are worse ways to die.
This is
Yeah.
true.
So,
Bali.
but yeah. God. No, not the Bali. Anything but the Bali. I mean, I also
Anywho.
would not want to be made into a... What are they called? Blood Brothers? Like, you're not
Oh.
dead. It's just disgusting.
You don't get made into one of those. You're used as parts, components.
Yeah. So I will draw an intrigue card. Normally one of the players gets to play one. What we'll do is we'll use the communal deck and we'll draw a card, and if we want to... Greetings, KY! And if we do not agree with it, we can exit. Of course, we're going to make use of the safety tools, the X, O, and N card. If there's anything that gets too much, you put it in either the private chat, you send it to me, or you put it, since there's no real DM, so we can just share it, everyone, but if you're uncomfortable, you send it straight to me, and we will arrange that. So. Ooh. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. This is how the game starts. House Sindorial besieges House Dillstone's fortress at Toul, while House Oak, bought off, stands by. Tell House Sindorial to draw one random card from House Dillstone's hand. Shit, Dillstone isn't there. Next!
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't get the card, but we can still play it out.
Oh, we could still play it out. So you don't get any cards, but they then choose one card from their own hand, reveal it, and give it to House Oak.
And we only have to reveal it. Well, I have to reveal it to everybody, but...
Yeah.
Come on. Why are you... Do the thing. There you go.
Why is frozen? No, it's not frozen.
No, it's fine. It just took a second. Well then. I need... no.
Oh, while this is happening,
There we
I just
go.
want to let everyone know.
There you go, House Oak. Have a card.
All right. That, by the way, everything tonight, any donation, whether it be bits, subs, or tips, is going straight to the GoFundMe that Meg Baker, the designer of The King is Dead, is running for Freya Petker, who, a little girl, the daughter of their friends, who has come down with sepsis infection. Is that my card?
That your card.
All right.
I have to buy off House Oak.
Yes.
Such a shame.
So now what we do is we turn the book to page... I think it has to start with an animated disagreement.
Well, no, you can choose anyone. You have to start with intrigue.
Yeah,
The
we
rule is
started
you-
with an intrigue, and then...
And then all the other games are 6 through 35. We
Yeah.
hold the end game to the last one. We each get to choose a mini game that we pick to run, and you can choose. You can even go around multiple times. I see you tried KY, but it didn't come through. He's trying to help.
Yeah, I know, I see.
But it does. But each of us gets to pick a mini game, and then there we go. But each of us gets to pick a mini game, and it's basically just role play, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And have all the fun.
House
And the
Sindorial,
Mhm.
you were singled out by the card. Why don't you go first?
Oh, well, I'll go first. Okay. Oh. Are we doing one around or two around?
I think one around,
Okay.
and then we'll see where that goes.
I think I want to do a reunion with our dear friend from House Oak, because I think it's going to tie into what we did to set the scene. So that's on page 22.
All right. So setup. We decide together where we are meeting.
Yeah.
either at an estate of your family or my family, and an estate of another family as guests, on the road, a town or countryside meeting by chance, military camp meeting as allied war captains, military camp meeting as enemies under truce, or you came to me in secret, or I came to you in secret.
I don't know. I've bought you off to as you are loyal retainers to House Dillstone, and would have to have conversation. Now the question is it meeting as enemies under truce, or have you come in secret to the camp as under siege?
I think I would have come in secret so that House Dillstone doesn't see that an emissary from House Oak made their way into the Sanderail camp.
Yes.
Also, under the cover of night, wearing a dark cloak.
Isn't that just like everyday wear for the brooding guy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. So then the first question we ask each other is, how do you look to me?
How do you look to me?
Lenore is practical on the field, but still stylish. She is on a military camp, but she's ended for the day, so she's probably not wearing the chainmail that she spent most of the day wearing. Very long, almost Marx Brothers pants that kind of flare out, that look more like a skirt than anything else, to facilitate her impression of fashion, but practical so she can ride a horse astride if she needed to. Long dark hair, of course. Slightly tanned because she's been out on the field for a while. She looks tired, however, because it's tiring dealing with this ongoing siege. It was supposed to be an easy in and out, and it's not. So other than hiding himself under a cloak,
How do I look to you?
yes.
I look wary of the people that are in your camp. Almost expecting one of them to shove a dagger in my back. Tristram is wearing a leather jerkin, dark gray charcoal-like, with embroidered upon it the heraldry of his family. He has a shield strapped to his back, a round wooden shield, and a flail hung on his horse. He's walking your way, looking left and right. You can see his long, silky black hair from under the hood of the cloak. Are we meeting during the day or at... No, we said at night.
We said at night.
So he is holding up a lantern, trying to look into each tent as he passes by, trying to figure out which one is yours and which one belongs to another general. Of course, he's beelining for the bigger tents. He is unarmored, but his boots do have steel caps on them and spurs. Those of
Important
a
things.
rider used to riding hard and fast for long periods of time. And yeah, like I said, dark cloak.
So the opening question is, I get to ask,
Yes.
when did we last see each other?
I think that would be... I had come south from the frozen north. And you were already at my family's estate. I came in during the middle of a feast after having delivered missives to house. I want to say House Lunesta. Sealed messages that I may or may not have gleaned the contents of. And I arrived like middle of the feast, interrupting all the joyful musicians and the jugglers and entertainers. Beelined straight to my chair, sat down, and listened in as if I had been there the whole time, though I've been mostly staring at my cup. Because brewed.
So that was the last time we saw each other.
Yes. And I'd say that was like about 6 months ago.
Okay. So 6 months. You get to ask the next question.
Alright, so in the game, basically each book has like a plethora of questions that you can ask the other player to get the ball rolling. And, huh. It's been so long that I'm sure you'll hardly remember me. Even though it's been 6 months, I am sure that I was not anyone to be remembered by. Are you surprised by what you see?
Surprised to see you here. Yes, but that's more politics than you. I know, unlike you, I tried to keep track. And you are just as much worth as anyone else of noble birth in this country. And all of it less than mine. But she's surprised to see that you are here. More wondering why than, but she remembers. And she would, Lenora would say, my Lord Tristan, a pleasure. Won't you come in?
He will blow his lantern out, and enter the tent, leaving his horse behind. Lady Lenore. I have come bearing ill news.
And ill news is an ill sound, an ill wind. Pray, what is the news?
My parents were murdered 2 nights ago. An assassin from an unmarked house, which may or may not be Sandarial.
Well, I did not choose to end them. No one in mine.
I would think so. It would be a very poor political maneuver on your part.
And I don't make poor political maneuvers. Most of the time.
This is why I've come to you tonight. House Oak has long pledged loyalty to House Dillstone and their claim for the throne. We now stand independent.
An alliance?
let's say, more of a scouting for alliance. Feeling. Thank you.
Thank you, cleric. You are wonderful and we love you.
I am wondering who could be trusted and who shouldn't be trusted in these lands. But as the now emissary for House Oak, I feel like to honor our, albeit temporary, alliance between your family and mine, that I should tell you that I will stake my claim to the throne.
Well, it's good to know these things right out the bat. It means anything else that happens is just fun.
We will not interfere with your business with House Stillstone here.
Well, that's a pleasure. It's been long and overdue. But if that is your wish, and that is your acknowledgement, we will stand by. And when we meet on the field of battle again,
It may
Things
be
will
as
be-
allies, or it may be as enemies.
are they not the same thing?
One I tend to keep alive.
This is true. But you may know, on my honor, that I did not have your parents killed.
We are investigating their death. If it proves that House Cindereal has nothing to do with it, then I would propose an alliance. I also suck at politics and I'm way too honest.
Don't worry, darling. You don't have to be. You don't have to worry about that. Just be the face of friendship, and I'll be the politician.
Friendship. So little of it is left in this world.
But it's good to see a friendly face from so long ago.
It is good to see you too, Lady Lenore.
You get to choose the closing.
So we continue with an animated disagreement, a conversation over food, a meeting sword to sword, stealing time together.
Or something else of your suggestion.
Yes, all out war right now.
Well, I mean,
I think so the way I approach this is I wanted to make sure that it could logically follow into any of the other games.
oh, it can.
But I think that right now meeting sword to sword might not be the best.
Unless, of course, you're convinced that I did actually murder your parents.
But that's it, he's not convinced yet.
Very true.
So I will roll a d3 and let fate decide my future.
Always a good thing.
2.
Conversation over food.
Conversation over food. Shall
Would
we?
you like to join me for dinner?
Yes.
But you get to start that one.
All right. Where is it? Conversation over food. Page 10. Everyone presents a card. Everyone present draws a card. Ooh. Decide together how you came to be eating together. Is anybody else joining us? From the other houses? Like perhaps you had invited someone over. Because
I
I
could
arrived in the middle of the night, unannounced.
You did. You did. I'm sorry that House Sindoriel did plan. Well, I'm proactive. So I would have also invited both parties of House Altrain and House Lunast, and I screwed up
Entier.
Entier.
Fine, we won't mention it. It'll just be mentally noted.
Well, I'll make a note, darling. Because, we all know that House Dillstone is not long for this world.
I'll drink to that.
Alright, so everyone present draws a card.
Yes. Draw a card. Come to me. Come. There. I have a card. Wait, hold on. Did I get rid of a card?
It took your 7 back.
It also got rid of my other 2 cards.
Yeah, this thing is wonky.
Okay. Well,
Alright,
it's as good as we're gonna get right now.
I have 4 cards.
I have. Oh no, there they are. They were stacked wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that 7 is mine.
Yeah, there.
Thank
Have
you.
your 7. Okay. And I'm just gonna move that one over here. Okay. There we go. All right. Why does the 7 keep coming back to me? Go
I
over
don't
there,
know.
7. Keep the 7. Claim it.
Okay, and we each have to take the highest card from our hand and show it.
And ace is always high, right?
Ace is always high.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't even grab the card. Oh, there it goes.
I have.
You okay, Alyssa?
No, it won't do it.
Okay, that's just not working.
Yep. Never mind.
Um,
We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll do it without the cards.
yeah, let's do it without the cards.
Yep. We'll figure it out eventually, guys. Sorry.
So, what we can do though, do everybody have dice?
Yeah. Always.
Okay. So,
We always have dice.
the cards together, face down. So if we need like to play something high or play something low or whatever, we can just roll a die.
Oh, that works.
So we take turn with the other players present. The player who showed the lowest card goes first. So do we all have a d20?
Yep.
Let's just roll that, and whoever has the lowest goes first.
I got a 10.
I got a 6. And I am very warm with this wig on.
Well, at least you're not freezing.
So
12.
16.
looks like I
Oh,
get to
look, you go first.
Oh no. Oh, I have shot myself in the foot, have I? Cursed myself into...
Dramatic reveal.
Let's see.
Alright, so on your turn, choose one or more of your conversational partners and choose an action. Ask a topical question, engage in verbatim impromptu conversation, pass, saying instead something about the food, or leave the conversation. I will then ask a topical question to all 3 of my partners. So, how goes the war?
Apace. Oh, I'm sorry. I should provide introductions. Tristan, Andreas, and Fabian. All of them. Gentlemen, welcome.
I see someone is preoccupied. Thoughts on the war? There are many other more pleasant things we could be talking about, you know this.
Politics, inheritance, it's all fun and games.
Fun. I don't know. Games. It's always a game.
I mean, I enjoy it. But yes, the war goes, as it always will. And you? How goes for you?
Raish is just primarily looking at all this conflict and seeing how it all plays out. It seems to be a bit of messy business, primarily between nobility right now. And as such, not necessarily interested. But should the small folk all of a sudden start clamoring because the houses have overstepped their bounds, too many people are dying, well, then we might have to intervene.
I wish you luck.
Well, we've always been lucky.
Not. And you, Fabian? How goes the war for you, apparently? This is a conversation starter.
Well, good. Great. Is there more sauce? This is, yes. Not what I was expecting. Not at all what I was expecting when you said, come to dinner. It'll be great.
I did also say that it was about politics, darling. And that everything else would be considered later.
I just assumed it would start with food and not with how goes the war.
Oh, well, that would be Tristram. He is a fine fellow. A little on the darker side of things, but...
Yes. War is the war, after all. You know how Sentir is, you know, it's all fun and games until someone dies, and then it's great sport.
Someone like nobility?
I mean, the untamed clans will, you know, anybody's a good body when you're looking for someone to kill. So I'm told.
I've always known your ways to be ancient, you of House and Tier, but I never thought them to be barbaric.
Someone pass the salt.
Well, Scylla's right there, darling.
One man's barbary is just another man's day-to-day. I don't quite know what you're implying, my good sir, but we are, yes, ancient is definitely a good word for what we do.
And killing.
But it is necessary to please the gods to provide a significant amount of blood. And if people step on our land, it's possible that we don't like that.
Like I said, everything's politics, and the war goes as it does. Can I interest you in some venison, sir?
Always.
Well treated.
I'm looking
Cool.
at the topics.
The topic questions, they're fun. You need to embrace the juicy. People need to embrace the juicy.
Mm.
But I've already like launched
Yeah, you started.
conversation, so I'll someone else has to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fabian, something gives you away to me. What is it?
Well, what are you looking for exactly? About
The
I'm a
truth
devilishly
about
handsome man.
the truth when it comes to the unfortunate end of House Oak's previous rulers.
Oh, we had nothing to do with that. No issues with House Oak. As long as they're not coming on our lands, no one cares. I can't speak the same for House Dillstone, but we saw how that went. Not that House Oak is how is House Oak taking the whole death of the king? Since we're just gonna be, how shall we say, out in the open.
Oh, that doesn't work. Sorry. Was trying to get a goal thing, but it's not an actual charity because it's a GoFundMe, so I don't have a plugin, but I'm sorry.
The Tifley doesn't work.
You asked me what I think
Well, ask me
of...
how you've done since the king is dead now.
If it were up to my parents, we would have the head of the king's murderer. Alas. And he takes a long sip of his drink and puts it down on the table and says, "My parents were also killed." And he looks at each of you in turn, trying to glean, like, if something gives you away. House Oak stands on its own now. We have always been servants of the Dillstones. We will be servants no longer.
I'll drink to that.
If your decision is such, then we are in accord, and House Dillstone will fall, and in the end will be our debate about who will come reign supreme.
You seem pretty confident about Sandoriel's position in all this.
At the end of the day, darling, I have the money.
But do you have a claim?
Yes.
Of those here, Sandoriel has the closest claim. For they were the house previous in rule. However, the kingdom's debts. Mind you, war has a way of draining coffers. Those debts are held by House Lunest.
True. It'll be interesting to see what happens then, won't it? I mean, I'd hope. And she'd kind of half turn, still reclined sort of in her seat, half turn to Tristram and say, "I hope you don't hold me to account for the unfortunate passing of your parents. I had no bearing there."
And Tristram gets up, and he'll leave the conversation on this. I am hoping against hope that none of you have anything to do with my parents' murder and that it was an action from House Dillstone in retribution for the alliance we've got with House Sandorial. I can't be sure of anything.
I think you can be certain of at least one thing. Since I have it on good authority that your men intercepted our couriers. You know how we feel about assassinations. Especially if you read through those messages.
Tristram tries to keep a steady face and bows slightly and says, "My lords, my lady." And swish of the cloak, he leaves.
So, that was an evening. But now, House Lunest, it is your turn to choose the game we play.
Well, in that case, considering we're keeping everything just so civil, I think this calls for a dance.
Ooh.
So not the same night, but later night.
Another evening. I think this takes place at the castle Lunest holds. And considering everything that was exchanged, I think if you will join me for this dance, Lenore.
Of course. Of course. So is it just the two of us, or is anyone else there?
Other players can join freely
Yes.
if they feel like they are present. But
I'm dancing with you, yes.
Start as partners.
Yep.
Someone else can cut in.
So,
Is this dance held in a sort of public forum where anybody could be invited, or is this a private setting?
I'm going to say, considering Lunest's interest in the kingdom, invitations were sent out to all of the noble houses and some of the clan heads. As Raish is interested in this conflict ending as quickly as possible. So, gathering of all the young nobility, see if some people can come to agreements or possibly form alliances to end this thing quicker. A bunch of young bodies, all dancing, feasting together. Makes sense.
So then the question becomes, how do you look to me, and what is your mood?
Well dressed. Definitely came attired for the occasion. Seems very much just almost like a hawk before he comes to the dance floor. Just scanning the crowd for rival or prey. And then eyes meet yours, And from that very severe look comes a slight smile.
Lenore has probably been on the dance floor most of the evening. She enjoys dancing. It's wonderful. It also allows her to show off her talents. The dress is modest in a sense. Blue. And embroidered with the house colors, but not ostentatious. Her cousin, Jeanette, is also there. And she is the flower and diamond that House Sandoriel might be offering up for political purposes. Lenora's here for herself, and to see what you would bring to the table. But she will meet your gaze across the floor, and smile and kind of raise an eyebrow as if to say, well, are you coming?
Sort of swishes a half cape behind himself and then makes his way to the dance floor. Takes your hand in his. And thus the dance begins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have you go first.
Okay. Okay. As we're dancing, my hair falls from one of its pins in front of my ears. Do you touch my face?
As we are dancing, considering this is to occur at somewhat up tempo, as part of dipping you, brushes the hair back out of your face, and then brings you back up.
Thank you. You're a fine dancer, sir.
Requirements of being a scion of the house.
But there are scions of a house that cannot dance. And she kind of glances over her shoulder at probably a member of the Untamed clans who are very enthusiastic, but not dancing appropriately.
Again, no insult, but the Northerners' folk dancing is not what we do on the mainland.
A waltz is always a pleasure. But, this is a fine dance, sir. Are you not enjoying yourself?
Enjoyment is rarely found on the dance floor. It's surpassing fancy.
I have found instead it is a good means to gain attention and see whether someone is worthy of your fancy or not.
Dancing is a silly game sometimes.
Silly game.
Yes. So much like peacocks presenting for each other.
But is that not in human nature and nature itself?
I'd like to think we've evolved past that. We are more than just beasts.
No, we are not beasts, but sometimes the most entertaining parts of those are things that we keep.
with that, just sort of looks past you towards members of the Untamed clans. There's something to be said for refinement. Moving past traditions, progressing forward.
But who does not wish to look forward? And a dance is a great way of looking forward.
I find with waltzing, you don't look forward. You look left, you look right. So often you move about the room, but you end up coming to the same place.
Ah.
And at that moment, my face is close to yours. Do you turn subtly towards me or subtly away?
She would turn subtly towards you, but kind of with a laughing smirk on her face.
Eye close to eye, nose close to nose for the briefest of moments. Breath upon breath. And then move away. And then back to a more respectable distance. I've seen you have many partners, but you seem to never stay in one place, one person.
I've yet to see anyone who is worth me staying. But isn't that the point of preening like peacocks? So that the hen might determine which one's the best for her.
I believe it is part of the ritual, as you say. But
We get so few choices in this world. They're the important ones.
at that, his eyes glance past you, just scanning the room. And if you're there, looking slightly with daggers at both Tristram and Fabian, trying to just, in a quick moment, both judge you and read you. So who else is there?
Tristram is leaning against the wall, a drink in his hand, talking to another woman of House Oak, probably a blood relative that he hasn't seen in quite some times. And his demeanor is less brooding than usual, but there is still an air of like desiring, like longing to be called upon the dance floor, but at the same time not wanting to. And I think if you meet his gaze, he'll just look at you with like a teensy bit of envy.
So, locks eyes with you. Again, steely stare to steely stare. And then, seeing your lack of initiative, just slightly smirks. And, again, with this waltz moving around the room, is Fabian there?
Well, Fabian's there, but if there's ever a man out of place, it is Fabian Mowbray on a dance floor. He is not, because he is definitely more put together than most of the Untamed clans tend to be. But he is just not great with crowds. So he is sticking extremely close to one of the princesses of the Untamed clans that he knows extremely well. And he's just like, not because he wants anything to really do with her, she's not really his type, but he is going to like stay as close to Portia as possible, because by comparison, he looks interesting standing next to this extremely loud and boisterous and just exuberant extrovert of a woman. Like, she's gorgeous, and like Fabian would, but he's just like, she's too much for him. But it's like, I look interesting if I stand near her. So he is just standing there. But he's also deliberately not looking at the two of you.
Seeing this, that all of a sudden, as much as he would try to stifle it, he cannot help but chuckle. And then, almost like that little bit of laughter, all of a sudden, the calculating turns off, if but for a moment. And he actually just dances. Turns away the judgment, all that stuff, and just lets his body go. If but for a few more moments, a few more steps as the song is coming to a close. Not trying to impress, but doing his absolute best, and just giving in for if but a moment.
The song comes to an end. The figures of the dance separate us for a moment. Do you move on, or do you linger?
As he comes back to himself, he will linger. Well, I thank you for allowing me to peacock and preen.
You're a very fine dancer, so you should do it more often.
Well, as you say, one needs to find an appropriate partner.
Of course. I'm glad you considered me an appropriate partner.
Well, to be fair, there may be birds with more impressive plumage, but I know a hawk among chickens.
Thank you, sir.
Bows and makes his way off the dance floor.
And Lenore would turn and just kind of spin for a full moment and let the music embrace the music that's playing, because it hasn't quite started the next dance yet, but it's still that kind of low lulling. And then spin as if she's drawing attention to the center of the floor to see who else is going to challenge for the dance. Because she is now, this is her medium and she will rule it. But she lingers an eye on Andreas as he leaves.
Oh no.
Well,
Now
I think
seeing
I
what
think
you're
Fabian
doing,
would. I think Fabian would just be like, man, screw it. I got nothing to lose here.
you have everything to lose.
I mean,
I think as you start moving, and that actual little phrase escapes Andreas's lips as you move towards Lenore. Just this slight, small stab of a verbal jab trying to cut you, and seeing if you give him even the slightest hesitation.
Fabian's face isn't going to show anything, but he is going to walk a little closer to Andreas and just be like, I wouldn't try anything. This is your home turf, and I won't cause a scene, but...
Oh, you'll cause a scene. It's just not the one you think.
I think you forget who you're talking to here.
No. I know precisely every person in this room. She'll eat you alive. Smiles and just walks away.
The thing is that he's just kind of like, well, color me scared and horny, and just goes for it.
Okay, fair.
He knows what he's up against. But he's not in this for the kisses, as it were. He is definitely taking this dance as a chance for a private conversation more than anything.
So,
You know this isn't my strong suit, Lenore. But it seems you've made your mark, and I need to make mine.
I have no idea what you mean, Tristan. I'm just... excuse me, not Tristan. Fabian. Sorry. I am awake, guys. I have no idea what you mean, Fabian. I'm enjoying a dance.
You're enjoying a dance, but I know, yes, the dance, that's what you call it. How many houses are you going to play like a fiddle?
As many as I need to get what I want.
And that's why you killed the oak people?
I did not kill Tristram's parents. I did not order the death of Tristram's parents. I did not even suggest the death of Tristram's parents. I did not even point out to someone who is listening that those people were causing me problems. Actually, they were much better for me alive.
Yes, well, it seemed like an unfortunate calculation in your plans, so I was a little surprised to see it happen. I won't lie. Though you know where House Antier stands on the whole thing, so...
But you think that you will manage to rise again to the throne?
We're not fools. We just would more like to be left alone.
And yet that time has passed.
Has it, though? Tell me, if we were to perhaps back your claim and make it a little more legitimate than it actually is, just because my clans tend to be a little less, how shall we say, educated, doesn't mean I haven't read it. I know your claim's bullshit. But...
Actually, no, my claim's quite good.
Your claim is about as legal and as binding as that infant that thinks that they're going to get to the throne. Dillstone isn't going to get the throne. Dillstone's nephew is not going to get the throne because that's just not how this works. But...
Oh, so that child isn't legitimate, but we all knew that to begin with.
Oh, we knew that. That's not the point. The point is, I might be willing to help you. Perhaps.
In exchange for?
My people want their freedom.
You
lose a good portion of land, don't get me wrong. You know, cutting out a good third of the kingdom, but you do get your throne.
Have you considered the terminology protectorate? It sounds so much better.
Not without its charms.
I think at that point, as we're dancing, you may, at this moment in the dance, place your hand upon my elbow, shoulder, waist, or hip. Which do you choose?
I think Fabian's gonna go for the waist. Politely.
Restrained. Impressive.
Oh, Lenore, you know be better than that.
Yes, I do. I know you infinitely better than that. So which of these charming young gentlemen has caught your eye?
You know my type. Dark and brooding.
Tristan has definitely caught your eye. Fabian.
You know the rules of the game.
There's nothing that says those rules can't change at the moment.
Yes, well, so long as we are part of this kingdom, and there's a Dillstone on the throne, I am flying by Portia and all of her dramas.
But Fabian, I thought we agreed. There won't be a Dillstone on the throne much longer.
And I think he's going to put his face a little closer to yours. Not because he's going to kiss you, but just to, like, he's going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
Do you turn away or turn towards?
She would kind of turn towards him. Interested to see what he's going to do with this one.
He's not going to do a goddamn thing.
Of course not.
He just wants the intensity of the moment to appear really great to everyone around you, but he's not gonna try anything.
Tristram leaves.
Aww.
He's like, all's fair in love and war, is it not?
And your young, attractive one left you alone. I think
Yes.
you played your hand, Fabian.
I might have, but high risk, high reward, and all that. I have a feeling I'll be seeing him again soon anyway.
I'm sure you will. At that, the music stops, and she'd stop and make a very perfect curtsy to you as she leaves the floor for probably the first time of the night.
Oh, yeah. He'll make a slight bow and also take his leave, but not following her.
But I believe it's your turn.
Well, Andreas did step to him, and House Antir doesn't take lightly to that kind of stuff.
Go for it.
So I think it's a little bit time for it's time for some swords to meet, I think. It's time for some spicy swords.
It's gonna be spicy.
Spicy swords. So I guess I think honestly Fabian just kind of would sneak around a corner and wait for Andreas to be by himself and then just wave a sword in his face. Like there's no...
Is it during the same night as the dance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fabian's not gonna wait on this. This is the sword's out.
I see the boorishness of Antir wave its ugly head yet again.
Well, you know what they say.
Yes, that you're a bunch of barbarians that can't be trusted. Pulls his sword.
And then Fabian's just gonna kind of wave his sword and shrug.
All right, who between the two of you is the best with the sword?
I
mean,
believe Andreas
No,
is
no, no.
more graceful in practice.
The players.
You are probably more graceful in practice, but like my
No,
whole
I
house is
think-
nothing but murderers.
It's which of the players is better with a sword that determines who gets to go first.
Oh, in real life?
Well.
It's one of the best lines. It's one of the best written lines in the whole book.
I do have sword training.
I don't have sword training. I play
okay.
contact sports.
No.
My body is a sword.
I live with a bunch of Scadians. I have to know sword training.
Yo, I think you legitimately do.
I'm better
is
with
the
a
one
mortuary
time-
sword than I am with a rapier, but
This is the one time where me being able to be like, I play a blood sport for fun is not going to be in my favor.
But in fact,
rugby?
I did play rugby, but I do roller derby now.
One blood sport to the other.
Yep.
So the worst with the sword will begin combat by asking a leading question.
Ah, yes.
And so it's 3 leading questions back and forth.
The final closing question becomes Pope's.
Yeah.
It is.
I throw a high swing, wild but powerful. Do you duck quickly back or do you stand unrattled?
Stands unrattled. Your swing is inelegant.
It's
Yes.
dark in here. Try some lights, and I'm the barbarian.
You're the one who's attacking me in my own castle after a night of dancing.
I have to answer words with swords, sorry. It's just how I'm wired. That's all there is to it.
And I thought you were a man that didn't stand on old traditions, the most progressive of your clans.
Yes, yes. I would like some changes in the way the old gods do things, but there's just something so nice about answering a slight with the sword. Don't you think?
Yes, I would typically agree with you, but you're snobby.
Hmm.
I pretend to falter and lower my guard. Do I draw you out, or do you recognize the ploy and hold steady?
I'm gonna hold steady and kind of just smile wildly.
Hmm.
I know that move.
I figured for someone who likes to swing high, me leaving a low guard would at least, invite you to try.
At the same time, I get my sword inside your guard and cut across the ribs. Do you withdraw and run, or do you rejoin the fight?
He rejoins. There is a significant grunt and a grabbing of his side, but now his eyes change. His demeanor changes. The tempo entirely shifts. We drew blood.
This is just like making Fabian just the happiest. Just he's wild with Bannon, just going all in for it. Kind of just laughing, just like and here we thought you had no emotions.
I hammer into your guard and you barely hold it. A fraction less and you'd be laid open. Does it fire you or chill you?
Oh, it's all fire. This is what Fabian's been waiting for. I think, do we have one more?
You can-
This thing. Ah. This has been. So I get my sword's edge to your throat. Do you submit or do you twist away to rejoin?
Twist away and rejoins. Again, a lot of the grace gone. This is a guttural grunt, a push. You have your blade here and you didn't strike. This is a push. Spin away. Draws into Midgard. This is your idea of fun.
I'm having a great time.
You're not my type.
Nor are you mine, if we're honest.
That surprises me.
I have no qualms with your people specifically, but you, sir, just seem a bit above. You think you're above all of us, don't you?
You've overplayed your hands for so long. Someone must come in to make sure your people are actually taken care of. I carve a terrible wound into your side, but in so doing leave myself to a return stroke as serious. Do you deliver it?
Hell yeah. And there's going to be just like he's not going to scream, like he's in terrible pain, but Fabian is just going to kind of take it, give the strike, and kind of duck into the shadows as quickly as he can.
For a moment, he stumbles back, and catches himself against the wall, sheathes his blade, and realizes how badly he is, and into the night just lets out a scream for guards.
And Fabian's gonna do his best to sneak out, which is a little difficult considering the amount of pain he's in, but...
Oh, wait until my scene.
Oh, I think it's your scene, sir.
I think it is.
My scene's going to be with Fabian.
What are you proposing?
Stealing time together.
Oh!
I love this game.
This will happen... Sorry, Pope, I didn't get to your rescue. This will happen... So, the reason you escaped the castle is I had some of my grenadiers bring you out through an old smuggling tunnel that this castle used to belong to House Oak ages ago, when it was but a longhouse mostly, not the castle it is today. But the tunnel thankfully has always been there, and the grenadiers took you out through them. And at a coaching inn, not too far. In fact, I will use in Barest, the trade town. We will meet together.
My trade town.
No, that's House Oak. Oh, yeah, you're a trade town. No, wait, I'm House Oak. So it'll be at at Castle Ninetaver, the welcoming country palace.
Ooh.
And decide together if your liaison is illicit in any way, and if so, what might happen if you're discovered.
Is it illicit in any way?
What did the old gods have to say about you? Or about relationships? Like,
The old gods are just not big fans of, like, relationships for anything other than, like, you know, making families and things like that.
oh, okay.
Which is always been a ridiculous proposition. There are a number of the untamed clans that are just, like, completely against the concept of relationships, and other ones that are, like, so strict and fundamentalist that, like, there is constant rift between them, and House Antir is supposed to be on the side of the more middle of it, but Fabian himself is very much not. He doesn't really fit in with his family too much.
Okay. And I'd say, even in my case, House Oak has always married into House Dillstone to fortify our alliance. And Tristram would have married into House Dillstone, but he didn't. So far, you didn't know why, but you might have an inkling now that you're being brought in this chamber where Tristram has prepared bandages and things. He's been made aware of your condition as the grenadiers were bringing you into the town. And, you know, narrative, timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah.
It works, don't question it.
And how does Tristram look to Fabian? Like, what mood's he in?
Worried.
That's fair. Tell me, Tristram, do you have something stronger than perhaps just wine lying around? Something Something a little sharper, maybe.
Seeing the blood upon your clothes, are you armored?
It would have been a very, very light sort of armor, something that would be very good for sneaking around,
All right.
but probably not the best given what kind of wound he has.
Are you frozen,
Uh,
Alyssa?
oh.
Alyssa will come back. We know that Alyssa will come back.
Ah!
There she is.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. That was
So
weird.
I take a bottle out of a small flask, I should say, out of the back of my belt, or the pouch that is in my back, and as I approach you, I start loosening your armor. May I?
Fabian's just gonna let him do it, but it's just like,
And I offer you the flask, and I say, "This is the strongest that I have."
and Fabian's gonna take a huge swig of it. He's like, so, how bad does it look? Because I think I'm gonna ask you to do something that is probably really difficult.
You shouldn't speak too much. Let me here come, and he will guide you to the bed. Do you let him?
Yes. I'm going to. Fabian would sort of grab onto whatever he could have Tristram to help him walk, if that's all right with him.
Yeah. By the way, Tristram will call out the guards and tell them to leave. And as you sit down on the bed, Tristram goes to this bowl of hot water, and he puts a few herbs in it. Some of them he takes a handful of and chews them for a bit before spitting them back out and putting them spreading them on a bandage that he then soak and brings up to you, and it smells pungent. He says,
Is this an Oak family recipe?
"Great dear. It helps heals animal wounds and arrows and other nasties. You'll have to lift your shirt."
And Fabian will be very nervous about it, but he'll just kind of pull up this now very bloodied and tattered shirt.
Give me a second.
Okay.
He puts the bandage on, and it burns and stings. And he says, I apologize.
Nope. You're doing what you have to. It's fine. It's fine.
And after it's been wrapped around your body twice, he puts both hands on it. Where is the wound?
I imagine it's right up under ribs and stomach. If it had been any centimeters one way or another, it probably would have been a death wound.
Okay.
But it's very deep and painful.
So he puts both hands on where the wound is to try to press the bandage closer into the wound. And as he does so, he inadvertently touches your hand with his thigh. What do you do? Oh my god, I'm going off script.
We are going off script, but that's fine. Fabian would freeze and be like, because in his head he's just like, fuck yes, and then the other side of his head is like, oh no, I'm in pain. I think he's gonna reach up to try to put his hand over Tristram's hands. May he?
Yeah.
Just trying to help the pressure.
Hmm.
If you don't mind me.
It's a wound I've seen before.
Oh, is that so? Where did you see it before?
And he lifts up his shirt, and you can see, like, next to his godly abs, this long scar. Hey, beautiful and brooding and accomplished at arms. Y'all, this is my OC, do not steal. So yeah, he lifts it up, and there's a similar scar, but it's like multiple puncture wounds.
and I'm gonna take my hand and reach to touch it, but it's gonna be like one of those like really shy, like, am I allowed to do this? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean it's if there's an intimate scene and someone shows scars, you have to caress them. It has
he's
to
just
be
gonna
done.
immediately like gentle fingers, like tracing every bit of it, every puncture. When did this happen?
I was 12. During my training with the hounds, one of them got loose and thought I looked tasty.
Hmm. Fabian's not gonna. He's gonna keep touching it.
Oh yeah, he's not removing your hand from the wound, and says, if there's one thing that I've learned with a wound such as this, is the longer you remain on your back, the better it is.
Hmm.
You do not want to walk, and you do not want to do anything too strenuous.
However, will I pass the time?
Well, you are safe here in Castle, looking at my notes. In Castle Ninetaver.
And will you continue to play medic?
His face will approach yours. Very close, nose is almost touching. And he will say, do you want me to play medic, or do you want me to play another role?
And Fabian's going to move his hand from the scar and touch your face. I'm pretty sure you can do both.
And, I loosen your clothing. May I?
Hell yeah, Fabian's so into this.
And I think as I delicately get you undressed, we'll fade to black.
Well then, so many things are happening. Reason why I love this game, y'all.
So, whose turn is it?
I believe it's mine.
Yeah.
I think we should do 2 rounds because we only have 4, and that way we can have some fun.
Yeah, because otherwise the game ends with the coronation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a second round, but let's keep it like a tiny bit shorter so we can
Oh,
finish
yeah.
like by 11.
Yeah,
Yep.
sounds
No,
good.
no, we can do that.
Cool.
All right, then. I know what I want to do. Because now we're into the drama, y'all. And this is fun. And I want to run with this drama. It's me. What else do you expect? I think I want to have an animated disagreement. And I think I want to be with Fabian.
Moi? But
Just
whatever
like
did I
idea.
do?
You done fucked up.
It's
I
whoever
done
did you do.
something.
No, that wasn't the problem. But an animated disagreement is fun because it actually the other players conduct the disagreement.
Ooh.
Mhm.
All right. So, what are we disagreeing about?
I think it's maybe a few weeks later. And the siege of House Dillstone is almost the previous fortification has fallen, and House Sandoral has moved on to the next. But Lenore is purposely waited a couple weeks, for she had heard about the altercation after the dance and wanted to have a conversation with Fabian when he was better and more up to it.
And
So she probably somewhere public, but somewhere maybe in the on the road, but at the same time near the encampment where everyone is met. So there are people that are there. And she is pissed at you that you done violated hospitality and fucked shit up.
Fabian's just gonna shrug and be like, I had to do what I had to do.
All right,
I don't know
so
what you want me to say.
well, Pope, do you want to go first?
No, I'll follow your lead. This is like dancing. I'm
All
better
right. What are the stakes?
Well, we don't have cards, so we need to. The stakes are.
I have a suggestion. Since this is all going in coronation, whoever wins this gets a retest.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
A reroll for coronation. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Winner gets a roll. Winner gets reroll. All right. All right then. And then so those are the stakes. And you can cut us off if either of us go on too long. Preferably with hisses and jeers if you like. According to actual rules.
God, I love this game.
God, yes. Isn't it fun? I love this game. It's why we're playing for charity, y'all, and you should go support this GoFundMe that we're playing for.
I'll put it back
but-
into chat.
I did.
Yeah, I might as well spam it.
True. But the audience takes turns posing challenges, and we both answer. So we've set the scene.
Mm-hmm.
We've set the mood. Lenore's back in her pants that look like a skirt, and actually wearing chainmail this time. Practical chainmail too.
Well, Fabian is very much in battle garb, you know. He's healed up. He's back in proper armor and not just, I've gone to a dance and there's a chance I might kill someone in armor.
So, audience, what is your first question?
Please explain how your opponent's position has merit and is worth real consideration.
God, we don't even get to start with the yelling. Fine.
No, we
I
get
mean,
to start with
obviously-
a, like, you're both right.
I mean, obviously, she's not wrong. It was done in the man's own house. But that's just how it happens sometimes.
You couldn't have taken the fact that you had an argument with him is entirely understandable, but you couldn't have taken the argument outside?
It was outside.
No,
in
it
a
wasn't.
courtyard. You know, it was a outdoor hole. It was one of those hallways where there's no ceiling. It was
Get
outdoors.
off of his property.
No, offenses must be answered as they are, as soon as they occur. And the fact that I even let it go until the end of the dance is more than House Antier would normally grant to such.
Then if you were willing to let it go, then you should have waited until you were done afterwards and not been on the thing. Instead, if you had done it right there in the middle of the ballroom, the rest of us would have looked at you slightly askance, but we would have understood. Instead, you played an ambush, like an assassin.
I didn't want to make a scene at the ballroom. Everyone was having a good time.
So you make a scene elsewhere.
It wasn't a
Honestly.
scene. That was the best part. It was done in private.
Really? I'm not sure that it was. You look like you both failed.
To be fair, it was a good fight. You know, not to give him too much credit, but he was a good opponent.
Yes, I can see where he was such a good opponent.
You should see the other guy. Ugh. Obviously.
I think this is where I'll jump in. Please explain how your position is best for the kingdom.
You
I'm
can't.
stopping the foreign invader.
You might
Like-
want to stop the foreign invader, but you can't kill him in his own house. That's what the battlefield is for. Or if you must.
I can. Counterpoint, I can. I just did.
Obviously, you can't because he's still alive.
I can. I just chose not to kill him. I thought you wanted him for something. I don't know. I was thinking of you.
I want him for a lot of things, darling.
Well, I should have killed him. But I didn't.
Honestly, really, we need his financial backing and we need the trade that Lunest will provide. Dillstone diddled away all the money. And I don't see you and or Tristram stepping up to deal with that now, do I?
Have you tried just not having money? It's not that bad. Works with the Untamed clans. You see
No,
them,
it
they're a
doesn't.
happy bunch. I'm just gonna gesture vaguely to some barbarians that are like bartering clothing for alcohol and like giggling.
Yes, they're bartering. But right now we're massively in debt. There are people to feed and supplies to provide.
How many a farm? You could
And
just-
shit tons of medical supplies that you are all benefiting from that have been purchased. We need his money. Also, possibly other things. But
you can get money from there's other members of his house. You don't need him specifically. And I didn't kill him.
yes, I see that. I see how you didn't kill him and you ended up very much.
It's but a flesh wound. I suffered.
It's just a
worse.
flesh wound, is it? And she'll reach out and poke you right in the side.
It's gonna take everything for him though. He's like a hand on sword. He's just like, I feel like this is an inappropriate choice for a disagreement.
Uh-huh.
And also, I have no qualms with him anymore. Our deal is done. We duked it out. No man won. The slight is answered for. It's all done. Why are you still yelling at me and poking me, no less?
Now, to be perfectly on brand, please make a personal attack on your opponent's character.
Oh my god.
I can't be stopped. Simon's not here.
You say that like he would stop you.
Or, yeah.
You say that like he would stop you.
Fair enough.
No, I see instead that your slight has been answered, and instead you've been enjoying the company of someone else. How was Tristram as a nursemaid for you?
I'm sure much better than most of yours, Lenore. How many have you been through now? Do you just cycle through them? Do you at least return them and get something in exchange? Perhaps the gold back?
Frequently.
Have you tried other sorts of battles, maybe?
Yes, and none of them can stand up to it.
They say they make things for that these days.
Yes, they do. They always have. Apparently, it's much better than a lot of things of certain people in my knowledge are using. But I don't know. Did you and Tristan have to take advantage of that, or did you manage to power through your pain and bleeding all over him to actually have positives?
You know, Lenore didn't take you for the kind of person to make fun of a person's specific interests in such a way.
I'm not
Maybe
making fun
we
of your
should-
specific interests at all. I think they're quite entertaining. I enjoy them. I enjoy watching them. I specifically enjoy the fact that Tristram's been making doe eyes at you for the past 3 years.
Is this really okay that you need to bring him into this? Isn't the whole point to, like, be mad at me for fucking up your new toy?
Yes, but I need to make sure that things are all put in the right place for when I ascend
Oh, I
the
didn't
throne.
damage anything that you would want of him. His face is still there and the other bits. I think. I didn't really
If
see
you
the results.
think, then we have an even bigger problem. But
I
no.
don't know what hole I hit. I had a good hit and I left.
I need things to be in order. And I need the
Everything
proper
is
ways.
fine. I don't know what he. If those bits are in order, that's fine. And this money is obviously still coming. We're winning the siege, if you haven't noticed.
No, I'm very aware that we're winning the siege. Just as long as things keep going, in the right direction. Because
We're
once I'm
going
on the
in
throne,
some
then
direction.
I'm looking forward to presiding over your wedding, Fabian. An alliance between House Oak and House Altair. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. What's your point?
Just because when I'm on the throne, that means I rule. My word is law. A very nice, pleasant wedding between my two very good friends who are willing to support me in my, well, rule.
I still don't know what this has to do with me messing with your new toy.
If you get yourself assassinated, then I don't have no support in your house. And I can't arrange a wedding, which would give me the house support of House Oak. Do you not see how all of these things interconnect?
Yes, but also, he started it.
And on that, I think we're ending the disagreement. So Pope and I have to decide who won.
As Andreas warned him, she ate him alive.
Yep.
She did.
Yep. So Lenore, you get a reroll at the end. I think Pope, your scene was next.
Yes. Oh dear. Intrigue and muster.
Okay. I drop. I shuffle.
Yes.
Do you want me to draw, or did you have one in mind?
I actually have one in mind.
Then go
considering
ahead and play it.
Everything that has been happening. Let's see here. Need to get to the right page.
17.
Wait, I thought you picked from a house that wasn't yours.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Yeah, I'm just saying that 17 is the base page,
Yeah.
and then you can go from.
So House Antir denies House Oak its traditional right to the hunt, the Highland Hills, and the fish in the Highland waters.
Well then.
So since we're not playing
I
with the
have to be on
cards,
brand.
you are on brand, and I love it all.
You are.
Since we're not playing with the cards, are we going to do this out? Or is it just going to happen?
I think it just happens. But it'll lead to something else after.
Okay.
Yes. I get to be, my typical ass, and throw a wrench and everything. Then we get to see the drama next.
Oh, the drama is coming. I got a
So-
feeling.
That was my play, Fabian. Now
It's your turn.
It is. I feel like. Mm, okay. I feel like I'm gonna also do intrigue and muster, and I also have one in mind.
Go ahead.
I think House Sandoral in all of their glory is going to assassinate a powerful general of House Oak in her own home.
Well, bye-bye, leader of the unit of heavy horse.
Hmm. So,
So now,
I was not there for it.
shit is hit the fan.
Yes. Yes.
And everyone's against me.
No, we're not.
I would like...
To be fair, Fabian's definitely on your side
This is also true.
and on his side.
Oh, wait, but you said House Sendarial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and House Sendarial has... No, or was it House Antir that prevented me from hunting?
House Antir prevented him
Yeah,
from hunting.
sadly it's my house that's just like, hey man, maybe don't hunt there.
And now House... Oh, God. Okay, because either... Okay, how do we do that?
I mean, we can play out both confrontations. I think that would actually play it well.
Yeah.
Because it'd be two very different confrontations.
Yes.
Or this is just all-out war.
Yeah,
There's that.
war is probably the most complicated if you don't have the cards, though, because you have to, like,
Yeah.
bid cards and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It ends up...
what we can do is a meeting sword to sword with just the three of us.
That
Oh.
works.
And I see, like, Pope in the background just going like, yes, the throne is mine.
Not yet, it isn't.
If you're all dead, well,
So I think that's what I'm gonna do for. I'm gonna go for. Or wait. Yeah, let's go with so we don't have to waste too much time trying to think about like which game we want.
Mhm.
So we'll do meeting sword to sword. As there's an all-out war between House Oak and House Sendarial for the assassination of someone. And it so happens that during this confrontation, people from House Antir were spied, and resentment sparked violence, and now it's a three-way battle, and the three generals meet and duke it out. How about that?
Okay, I want it put fully known that Lenore is taking from me, and she fights Italian rapier and stiletto, and is going between the two of you that way.
And Tristram fights with a flail and a shield.
Okay, well, that's
I just want a
aggressive.
big fucking sword. I don't know the difference between them. I just want a big one.
you can fight Claymore against Rapier and Dagger. I feel so bad. And Flail, this thing that didn't actually even get truly used, because if you've actually practiced with any of them, you cannot control this and you will hurt yourself.
I know. That's why he's fighting with
No.
the flail.
So
Okay,
two real sets of weapons and the fantasy weapon.
Yes. Actually,
Too
if we want to go full on like historical, he would fight with a I'll say a flanged mace.
Okay,
That
that
would make more sense.
So we have a flanged So basically, we have two very tall gentlemen, at least taller than Lenore,
Yeah.
with very large weapons that are much more brute force, and she's standing there, literally gracefully dancing her way out of both of them. I picture this all. And of course, it's on a bluff somewhere overlooking the rest of the battlefield.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah.
is like, this is the most dramatic outdoor looking thing.
I'm just picturing this on a high cliff, like near Dover, where there's like the valley down below, and then the cliffside like leads straight into ocean, just straight into the channel or field. That's your choice.
Mhm. And I think so that we, to add a little spice to it, Pope, would you mind, instead of us leading the questions, you target two people? And like, for example, it could be like, Fabian's sword gets inside
Here's
Tristram's
what I'll
guard.
do.
Okay.
I will run this, and what I will do is I'm going to roll a d10.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. 1 through 3, the strike is from Tristram. 4 through 6, the strike's from Fabian. 7 to 9, the strike is from Lenore. 10 is a double strike.
Ooh, I like.
I roll twice, and 2 of you get hits.
Okay.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me pull up the Crossing of Swords
Whew.
so
This
I
is
can
spicy, y'all.
get this chart of doom up. And now we roll. 1. All right. So, Tristram, you lock swords with Fabian. Your mouth is near their ear. What do you say?
I thought I meant something to you.
Mean something to me. I'm sorry that I had to do what the clowns decided. This isn't how I wanted this to happen either.
So you bow to the least pressure?
No, I bow to the collective, which is what we do. That's what my house does.
I thought you greater than that, Fabian.
Either you overestimated me or you misunderstand.
Well, I think I understand you quite clear now. You are just a face amongst the sea of faces that is your clan. You don't count for nothing, you are not special. A cat is playing with a toy right next to me.
I mean, it's the battlefield behind us.
Yeah.
And as you two are having this moment, Lenore,
Mm-hmm.
you get your sword's edge to Tristram's throat. Tristram, do you submit or do you twist away and rejoin the fight?
I twist away and rejoin the fight.
Who do you attack?
Definitely. As I am surprised by this attack, I will throw my shield, the weight behind my shield, on Fabian to push him away. And with a backhand swing, try to hit your collarbone with my mace.
She'll turn, as she expected. You're too busy fighting each other and not the real threat. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, your time will come, Cendarial.
I didn't kill your parents.
Empty words.
I did kill your cousin.
Okay, we have a double strike.
Cool.
Oh Okay. In that moment, okay. So, Lenore, you get your sword inside Tristram's guard and cut them across the ribs. Do you press the attack or give them a moment?
She'd cut and then turn and spin away. And purposely do so that she doesn't put her back to him, but pulls, almost drawing his eye back towards Fabian.
Okay. Then, Fabian, you and Lenore circle, guards up, swords between the two of you. What do you say?
I don't know if Fabian says much of anything at this point. He is feeling very much like he's been put into a position that he can't win at this point. Because either he continues to support Lenore's bid, or he kills her and risks all out chaos. And he's definitely done fucked up with Tristram, so there is nothing he can do. So he just doesn't say anything. But he's ready for whatever's going to come, because even if he's going to lose this, he is not going to lose without a fight. So he is just sword up, bloodlust on, ready to go.
Okay. We'll do one last blow and then the resolve. All right. Fabian, you launch a sustained attack with your full weight behind it against Tristram. Do you give ground readily or grudgingly?
You know, grudgingly. Like, this was... He deeply cared for Tristram, but everything Tristram said about him not being special and not understanding who he is and what his family stands for was just like, nope, this is just going to be a bad breakup. So he is... Any ground that he gives up is at the weight of knowing that Tristram doesn't think he's special. So, no special treatment.
Okay. Now, he is literally a D5. I'm laying this out of my narrative hands. First, it is Tristram. This is what happens. You smash Lenore's sword out of their hand. Do you allow her to recover it, or must they submit?
They have to submit. I'm not going to kill Lenore, but I will not let her reach for her weapon.
Out of narrative curiosity, is this both weapons or just the one?
Just the sword. You
Oh,
still
that's
have the
still better.
dagger in hand.
Yeah.
But dagger versus mason shield's a bad place to be.
She would... Ooh. Can I tweak this as this is the end game a little bit?
Yes, this is the end game of this fight.
She's seen the two of you going back and forth and going back, and she'll begin to let the blade fall from her hand. And what she'll do instead is she'll turn and bring herself closer to Tristram.
Okay.
You have armor, sir. I trust you.
Lenore uses confusion.
It's
Tristram.
super effective.
In almost a repeat of what happened previous, you carve a terrible wound into Tristram's side, but in so
Who?
doing, leave yourself open for a return stroke. Tristram, do you deliver it?
No. He cannot bear to endure Fabian that much.
And that's how the fight ends. I'll let you all resolve it.
I think as the two of them draw close with blades, and Tristram takes that slice to the side and doesn't return the blow, Lenore, who still hasn't dropped the stiletto, is going to come up on the side of, because she'd let herself be pulled in next to Tristram, and is going to let herself come up on the side of Fabian and bring the blade to his neck as he's focused on Tristram and say, "Do you submit now? For you have a beloved to deal with, and I don't think you want to kill him yet."
Wait, you put your dagger to my throat?
No, to Fabian's.
Okay, to Fabian's throat. Okay.
Sorry if I misspoke.
I don't have a beloved.
No,
Do
I'm
your worst.
All right then. How big of a bitch is she? She's that big of. She is that big of a bitch. She doesn't kill you. She'll knock you out. She'll take the pommel and pull it right into the side of your head.
All right.
And then turn to Tristan and say, "If you want him, you're gonna have to pick it up and deal with it, because this is overly complicated. But we have a wedding to plan, a feast to have, a siege to end. All good things."
I'll just look at Fabian's unconscious body and say, him or anyone else, it wouldn't have mattered. He doesn't care. Nobody does.
Oh my god, you're men and you're horrible. And she'll just slap him.
And
just be
that will lead to the coronation.
It's like straight up, just be like,
So we get to each roll a d20. What we'll do is the highest roller will be the heir assumptant, second highest house ascendant, and then the other two will roll a d8 to determine a doom that'll happen.
okay. And I get a reroll.
And you
on
get a
the D20.
reroll. Yeah. I rolled an 18.
Nat 20!
Or
I got a nat 1 and a nat 20.
All right, though. So Alyssa, Deirdre, do you want to reroll?
Sure.
I guess we have to.
roll
we
off,
have to.
Roll off.
We have to. We
it's
have
a
to.
roll off.
Oh, I got a nat 1 that time.
A 15. I'll take it.
All right, so House Sendereal is the heir assumptant.
House Antir is the assumptive house.
House Ascendant.
House Ascendant, yes.
And Pope, do you want to roll the? Oh, we'll roll our d8s after, because the doom comes after the ceremony.
Yes.
Yes.
So, the heir assumptant is crowned. Heir assumptant, answer these questions. What is the nature of the ceremony?
Public and somehow probably in the same sort of less in like a large cathedral or in any of the major castles or properties such as that. Instead, she would have it in the former King's Park, the property of the king that was held off for everyone else, and have it as a festival day and invite everyone and anyone who could come from the next around, and a large table to supply everyone and play the game of appeasing the small folk.
So which houses are invited to attend? That's pretty much everyone.
All houses are invited to attend.
Are you forcing anyone to attend?
I think technically I would have to. If anyone refuses, then she would force them to attend.
Okay.
And she'd have seats set up on the dais at her table for all of the heirs presumptive of the various houses.
All right. By show of hands, which of us personally attend the ceremony? Which of us personally support the new crown?
I'll take that.
Which of us will personally fight or continue to fight against the new crown? Or just disgruntled?
You'll be disgruntled for a very short period of time. It's fine.
House
Listen.
Ascendant, answer this question. Do you serve the new crown, support the new crown, call the new crown to heel, or openly oppose the new crown?
Technically, we serve the crown because we helped put the crown into place, but House Antir is not a big fan of the crown at this point. And not that they have any interest in talking to the Dillstones. House Antir is working with the Untamed clans to come up with some kind of secession to remove their lands essentially entirely from the kingdom and go off on their own. But it will be a long and arduous process, and they don't suspect that it's gonna. They're like not actively fighting against the crown. They're just quietly biding their time until they can announce their secession and go their own way.
Okay. And then answer... Well, no, you've answered the second one. You try to break from them. Alright, I think it's time for our dooms. A d8. There are 8 dooms in all. I rolled an 8.
2.
Alright. Do you want to go first, or do I go first?
I should go first.
Then go ahead.
The towns and cities of Bantiv begin to assert the power of their wealth, defying the ancestral rule of the noble houses.
Oh, isn't it great? I'm encouraging trade.
It kind of goes along with what House Antir is up to, if we're honest.
It kind of goes along with House Sandoral was plotting.
However, I rolled an 8. The
Yeah, I
new
know, that one
crown is
sucks.
assassinated on the throne.
I know.
So I will ask a question for more detail. Did you marry me?
I think she asked first if you wanted the opportunity to choose your own way.
I would have agreed to marry you.
And then her next thing would be, when you kill me, make sure that it's stability afterwards.
Yep.
Because Lenore just plays the game. It's all the game to her. And she was like, do you want to bow out of this game, or do you want to continue the politics?
And
Here's a question I want to follow up with.
mhm.
Do I live long enough for you to have an heir?
Yes.
And is it announced that I'm assassinated, or did I die in childbirth?
May I answer that question?
Oh, yes.
Since Andreas took that marriage poorly,
Yeah, sorry, Andreas.
it is pronounced by House Lunest and Rush that she was assassinated.
Yeah, and Tyr's not gonna. They're gonna say childbirth.
Which leads to the next question, as I'm already dead. And I don't have to worry about it. Do you make a show of looking for who killed me?
Ah. Yes. But as agreed, I don't know how, like, it's me taking the reins, and so stop me if you want to. But as agreed with House Lunest, after I requested them to assassinate my parents, we will marry the heir to someone of House Lunest. That okay?
I like this. I like that, because I have this idea.
Mhm.
Because there's Andreas, and then there's the actual head of household.
Mhm.
And Andreas was a part in the head of household's plot. Beautiful deniability. He will play the party line. Send that boy off. While conspiring to, yes, we'll kill off. We'll have the Oaks, which are far more amenable, get in position to have the throne, get rid of whoever actually ascended, because they're obviously a troublemaker.
It's
and
like
then
you
have-
know me.
And then have the far more stable and already, traditionally servile Oaks in place, and then marry them to the person who is not going to ascend to the head of household, but is going to play a part in our expansion plot. A lovely young thing who we like, the eldest daughter, who is just being groomed to be the perfect wife and someone who can handle whatever man she's married off to.
Aw, I feel so happy about this, actually.
It's like we have a good ending with our murder plot.
Yeah.
Multiple murder plots.
So I think that also answers the question of what happens 1 year
It's
later.
1 year later. Except for, I have two more questions.
Yes.
Because just give me all the dirt. Does Tristram ever see Fabian in a non-consort to the queen position?
It depends. Fabian would have to make some sort of gesture, or to let, like, some sort of action to indicate that he is apart from his clan, like that he has his own independence. And if there ever is a such an act, then I think Tristram would come back, like, in a heartbeat.
So I'm sure Fabian would make overtures and write letters and do anything to try to undo the damage of their relationship, but Fabian is going to back Antyr's play to secede 100%. and not just because, and he will say this in multiple letters. This is not because this is the will of my house. This is what I want, because our secession is my chance to rule. So I want to go my own way. Like, I think he's going to write dozens of, like, you know, breakup letters and heartbreak things, but he's going to assert that, like, this is the choice I've made. And you made your bed, I've made mine.
So,
and unfortunately, they're not the same bed.
aw, sad day. So the final question actually ties into that then. What happened? Do you, Fabian, ever show Tristan the letter that Lenore sent you that told you that Tristan was going to kill her and that the rights to the Antier lands in her hand would be offered up to House Antier as a free secession with only minimal offerings of, I believe, mineral rights on occasion? Do you ever use that letter to gain your secession?
I think when the first bid doesn't go well, when there's an like the small, like some of the small folks seem into it, but the larger houses don't. I think when it looks like it's not going to work, that is the first time he's going to actually go and see Tristram in person and be like, look, this is what I have. Just give it to us. Give us what we want. Let us go on our way. For old time's sake.
That shit turns Tristram on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Fabian's not gonna be like, it's just a chance to get laid. Like, hell yeah, calm down. But he's also, you know, he's got his own plans to think about.
Yeah, I think this probably seals the rift between Fabian and Tristram. At least from Tristram's point of view. Like, you've shown me that you are special. You're gonna be the ruler. You're not just gonna be like a pawn in your clan's plays. Which, ironically, like, Tristram is a pawn in House Lunest's plays.
Yeah, like,
But, like, he likes to think that I have
he likes to think that
independent
he's
thought.
making his own choices.
Yeah.
I mean...
Whereas, like, Fabian the whole time has had his own say in everything. And, like, House Antier's plots to secede have been going on long before they helped with the assassination of the king, the Dillstone house. Like, this was all just Fabian's like, I think we need to take a step back here from killing a king. We might not get what we want if we do this. So all of Fabian's involvement with everything that happened was just to ensure secession. It's just that his whole clan was like, kill the king, kill them all, who cares? He's like, maybe not.
I love all of this. And I love the fact that even though Lenore dies, she gets to be the matchmaking and manipulative bitch that she is at her heart. And I love it.
Delightful.
That's how we're gonna stop today's game. Partly because it's 11 and I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah.
I think, no, there's one last question. Andreas, where are you 1 year from now?
Oh, yeah.
Andreas, as much as he doesn't want to, he's on the other side of Resh. He has left that Emerald Isle completely be in a huff and just resents the entire thing. He is out there in the eastern part of the kingdoms and playing politics there, trying to make nice on trade deals, and just miserable.
That is sad. But on par with everything else that happened.
Well,
It's this
in his
game.
mind, there was only one woman who was ever close to being his equal. She's dead.
Yeah, it sucks. She probably wrote you a letter, too. Something very bland. Just enjoy the dance. And remember that it's all just a game.
Man, Fabian at least took the time to write poetry.
He held on to it for a while, and then he burned it.
Of course he did. Lenore doesn't. Lenore's got some issues. Well, Lenore's Lenore. I like her.
Well, thank you everyone for coming.
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you for playing, for discovering this game with me. That was a lot of fun. We'll do the outros. By the way, while we're gonna do the outros, I will give away the sum total of all the donations we've received so far. So that's $32. These $32 will go to the fundraiser by Meg Baker to help Freya Petker in her sepsis infection. And if you do not believe me, oh, it doesn't say how much oh, well, you can go on the website and check out. Wandering DM I just gave the amount. It's on there.
The GoFundMe.
On the GoFundMe, yes. In case there was any doubt. So, that being said, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you have going on in your internet lives. And we'll begin with our newest, our newcomer, our new friend. Pope, how are you? How did you find the game?
Oh, that was okay. We'll do a little cross promotion on top of description.
Always.
So I have had the great, delightful fortune to be playing a holiday series of Fiasco over on Otherdoc. We do that on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. There, cheap plug. And that game is all about playing terrible people in worse circumstances and them having their comeuppance. And this game is that, but with such more intrigue. It tickles all the right places. And this thank you so much for having me here and for this amazing game, which I have to take to like everyone of my intrigue friends and go this
Mm-hmm.
And try and share this and get this going like wildfire. If you want to see more of my silly face, you can check out this Sunday over on Matev 7's channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern as we continue the dreadful beat of DJ Strahd. And if something a little less ridiculous and a lot less intrigue, but much more weird, you can join us over on Tales from the Grim in the Weird West on Mondays for Deadlands, The Road to Desperation, where I may or may not end up running afoul of a bunch of carnivorous crows. We'll see. But as for me, hi, I am Pope World Build on the Twitter, Pope World Build on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. And I want to thank all of you who gave, all of you who are here with us, all of you watching VOD, YouTube, wherever you are. Thank you for your charity. Take care of one another and know that you are loved. Catch you all later.
Thank you for coming, by the way, Pope. It's always a pleasure to play with you. And I am hoping we'll get a chance in the future to play some more. Yee. I have things planned, so Deirdre, you're making weird motions. What's up?
I want all the deets, but that's just me. Hey, y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorth as me for as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I love this game. I also love, if you love this game, you should definitely go follow Meg and Vincent Baker. on Twitter and on Itch. They publish really great games. You should really support them for everything that they do. I love this game so much that the previous incarnation, which is called Firebrands, and is less Game of Thrones, but everything else except the politics at the end. And mechs in space. That's what Firebrands is. Mechs in space and this. I actually wrote an expansion alternate setting for that game. It's also on Itch, because I'm a classicist and a nerd. And yeah, you want to have your Romans and your Carthaginians and your Sicilians, duking it out with ancient Mediterranean naval tactics. It's a fabulous, whatever. But yes, I love this. I love that we all got to play together. I love that Pope got to come play with us because that's always a fun thing. And Pope and I kind of cross beams at each other and never get to play together. So this is fun. But as for me, you can find me here. I hang out here a lot. And you should come hang out here a lot too. But tomorrow, you can see me here tomorrow. And I'm going to let Simon tell what tomorrow is, because if you think Lenore is a political-minded, manipulative bitch, Trin's is the exact opposite, and she is a bubbly, bubbly child that I'm not. It'll be very entertaining. She's gonna have some. She's fun. But other than that, always check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be. And I love you all, and thank you for letting me support a bunch of people that I think really deserved it. So thanks.
And thank you for coming. Last but not least amongst our players is Alyssa. Who are you? What did you think of today's game?
Well, you see, I am Alyssa. I am at Xander Slamilton here on Twitch and on Twitter. I only ever other game that I am in is Saturdays for our Vampire the Masquerade game, where I am the pretentious hipster art critic Auden St. James, who is now kidnapped. Don't know what that's going to be like. That's going to be fun. But you can find out more if I'm doing stuff. I have played the game teacher wrote, Lean Heroes, which was super duper fun. And this game rules. I can't wait to bring it to every single thing that I do. There is never going to be a moment where I'm not going to be like, hey, we have nothing to do tonight. We're playing The King is Dead. And not asking any questions. It was so great. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for playing with me. It was so much fun.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. Welcome, everyone. We play here on the channel regularly on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We play Dark Matter, D&D in Space. We also play Cyberpunk on alternating Fridays, which means that tomorrow is Cyberpunk night. And it is also the first time that the entire crew will be together as we kick off our first story arc for this game. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, and the players have been talking all day about trying to get the game off tracks, so we'll see if they succeed. And on Saturdays, we play Vampire the Masquerade here at 1 p.m. Eastern, although there won't be any Vampire this weekend because I have my nephew's birthday to attend. So there's that. Otherwise, you can find me on the other Fridays where I don't DM Cyberpunk, playing in a Lady Blackbird campaign over on Off the Table, and on Mondays on Role Players where I DM my campaign setting Age of Arcana with other people. One of which is Deirdre. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you to Mage and Press, to Found Familiar, to Dice Envy. If you want to check out their products, it's on the panels down below. You can click on the panel, use code WanderingDM for anything except for Dice Envy. Dice Envy is just a link, but for everything else, and you get either 10% off for Found Familiar coffee, 15% for Mage and Press, which includes the Dark Matter hardcover book. And on that note, I will see you again tomorrow night. Ciao, everyone. Thanks for coming.